Welcome back to GOO ROO Beauty. I am Jodi and today I'm doing a first impressions of a brand new, much raved about foundation from Too Faced. It's the brand new Born This Way Absolute Perfection oil-free foundation. I picked this one up at Mecca Maxima just yesterday, so it has launched, and I wanted to give you my first impressions because there are a lot of raves out there about this foundation. It's not cheap, and a lot of you want to know what I think about this foundation before you go out and invest your own dollars in it. Who am I to begrudge you that review? Definitely I was excited to go and pick this up. I was colour matched by the lovely Charlie at Mecca Maxima in Joondalup. Natural beige is a good match for my NC25 skin. The Born This Way foundation comes in a glass bottle, prone to breaking if you're going to drop it on tiles or any kind of accidents like that. Maybe a little bit heavier for travel or for your handbag if you'd like to carry a foundation around for touch-ups. Not ideal, but it certainly looks very pretty. We have 30 mils, the standard 30 mils of product in this bottle, and a fairly secure plastic lid with a nice handy dandy pump. Pumps really make foundations in glass bottles so much easier to use, so this definitely gets a thumbs up there. This foundation is oil free, but speaking to the makeup artists, it's not necessarily recommended for oily skinned ladies. This product is made in Canada, and I'll let you know the ingredients before I go on to what Too Faced says it does. So the ingredients start with water, followed by cyclopentasiloxane, glycerin, aluminium starch, octanyl succinate, isododecane, polyglycerol 4, isostearate, cetyl peg PPG 10-1 dimethicone, hexyl laurate dimethicone, blah blah blah. Looking through it, it is oil free. This one does contain my very favorite foundation ingredient, that's cyclopentasiloxane. I just find that foundations that contain that ingredient are generally holy grails for me. I find them particularly smoothing. They're usually also pretty good in coverage, and then the finish is usually very hydrating and luminous as well. So based on the ingredient list, I don't think I'm going to be disappointed by this foundation. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it wears throughout the day. What else do I see that might be interesting? Coconut water. There is alcohol, but it's fairly far down the list. Titanium dioxide, almost last on the list. You're not getting a specific SPF coverage out of this foundation. Nothing really remarkable about the ingredients other than the fact that primary ingredients water. There are silicones in this foundation. It's oil free, and alcohol is fairly much down the list. Does also seem to be paraben free, and Too Faced also is known to be cruelty-free as well. Now onto some claims from Too Faced about what this foundation does. Starting with the box, it says that this product is infused with coconut water to delicately replenish the skin's moisture levels. It contains alpine rose to brighten the skin's appearance and promote elasticity. And finally, hyaluronic acid for a smoother, more youthful appearance. Hyaluronic acid obviously helping with hydration. They say the oil-free foundation masterfully diffuses the line between makeup and skin. Coverage so undetectable and skin so naturally radiant. They'll think you were born this way. Their consumer study results, 100% said that this foundation blurred their imperfections. 98% said that the foundation made their skin look absolutely perfect. And 97% said that the foundation provided natural coverage. This product retails for 58 Australian dollars, which is obviously on the high end. It's more than your Estee Lauder, it's more than your MAC foundations. 39 US dollars in the States. Looking at Sephora's website, this product gets just under 4 out of 5 stars. Looking at Mecca, we have 11 reviews already, and the rating is almost 5 out of 5 stars. And then looking at Makeup Alley, this product has an average rating of 3.6 out of 5 stars, and that is pretty average, I would say. Speaking to the makeup artists at Mecca Maxima, they did say that applying with a damp sponge has worked very well from what they've heard from other people, but you can apply this product with a brush with your fingers any which way. I think the biggest claims here from Too Faced is that it's an oil-free foundation that is going to give you a lovely, natural, radiant finish and be blurry and undetectable all at the same time. So that's what we're putting to the test today on my skin. I am in my late 30s. I do like the idea of a foundation that's going to give me hydration, yet control my oils, particularly in the T-zone. I do have pigmentation and things that I do like to even out with a decent medium to full coverage. I like something that's going to be lasting nicely throughout the day, and then something that's smoothing. If this is blurring lines for everyone, that's fantastic news for me. So something that's going to help to smooth out my pores and fine lines is also a huge plus. I am going to turn now to the application. If you want to see how this applies, how it wears throughout the day, and if you want to see my final thoughts and recommendations, definitely keep on watching. I am not using a primer today, just going straight in with a damp beauty blender. I'll apply one thin layer and then I'll apply a second thin layer and let you know how that goes for me today. As I'm applying this foundation with no primer, I notice that it has a very lightweight feel to it. It doesn't have sort of the body, the texture of a silicone-y foundation, but it does not feel overly silicone-y. It feels pretty light. It builds and blends nicely. I'm not noticing streaks or cakiness or any unevenness as I apply with the damp beauty blender. It just doesn't seem to have very much, I don't know, body or slip or smoothness to it. And I notice after one layer, my coverage is probably barely medium and my pores aren't looking particularly smoothed out. The finish of this foundation without any primer with the damp beauty blender is pretty natural. It's not overly matte, it's not overly dewy. I don't think I've got any particular shine from this foundation. I am going to apply another layer and I'll let you know if I notice anything different with that second layer. With that second layer, I definitely have been able to get a little bit more coverage. This is definitely more than medium now with that second layer. It did have a tendency to have a cakey type feel to it, so I did have to go over with different areas of my sponge just to make sure that it wasn't caking up. So I think this is a foundation that you can tell you're wearing foundation. It does sort of, you know, it looks like makeup on your skin. Not particularly smoothing, a relatively natural finish at this point. I don't notice any discernible fragrance as I'm applying it. At this point, it's not doing fantastic things for my skin. It's not doing bad things for my skin. I'll apply the rest of my makeup and I'll be back to let you know how it's looking in a little bit. About an hour later, I have applied the rest of my makeup today. I have applied concealer and some powder blush to my cheeks. Otherwise, the face is bare. It's just the Too Faced foundation. And I would say after this time, it has sort of dried down. I would say that I have not got full coverage from this foundation. It has a decent finish. I'm pretty pleased with the way that my skin looks, but when they say undetectable coverage, that doesn't stand true for me. Again, I'm not wearing a primer today. I haven't put a powder over, but my skin does look like it has makeup on it. So not undetectable on me and my pores. I wouldn't say it's particularly smoothing on my pores. Overall, I'm generally happy with the way that this foundation looks on my skin. What's going to be really interesting for me is to see how this foundation lasts throughout the day with my combination oily skin. So I will be back to give you an update. 10 hours after application and the foundation is doing pretty well. My face is a bit shiny, but I don't look too ridiculous. I have not touched up this foundation at all, and you know, I would prefer to have powdered down maybe halfway throughout the day. My skin still looks like it's got coverage, so my hyperpigmentation is still covered. I've still got reasonable coverage from this foundation at the 10-hour mark, and my pores are looking not particularly smoothed. I can sort of, you know, see my pores. So I guess the best thing I can say about the foundation at the 10-hour mark is that it's still there and my skin is looking hydrated, if not a little bit too oily. I would say that I probably started looking quite oily after maybe between 3 and 5 hours after application, and given that it's without any primer, the foundation has not done too badly. It's looking okay. It's a $58 foundation though, and I would say that, I don't know, there's probably drugstore foundations that would have looked as good throughout the day and that would be looking as good at this point. So I don't have any major beefs with this foundation. I have read reviews that make me think that this is a foundation that may be more suited towards the normal to dry skins rather than the oily skins. But on my combination oily skin, it's done okay. However, at the price point, I just can't say that I recommend it. It's not a holy grail foundation, and at 58 Australian dollars for a bottle, it should be something really special. This is not something that I look in the mirror and think, wow, what's on my skin? Oh yeah, that's right, it's the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. No, it's done okay, it's done a decent job, but I'm just not terribly excited, and unfortunately this is not a rave, so you know, it's, I don't know, 1 thumbs up from GOO ROO Beauty. So there you go, that is my take on the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Is it a holy grail for me? No, it's not. It's 58 Australian dollars, which is, you know, pretty significant. For 58 Australian dollars, I really want to be blown away. I want to look in that mirror and I want to go, wow, my skin looks great. What am I wearing? That's not how I felt about this foundation, and I have spent far less on foundations that I love even more. Now, this is holy grail for many people, but I'm still trying to work out in my head, is this great for oily skinned ladies? Is this great for dry skinned ladies? Looking at reviews online, dry skinned ladies have said that it can make even their skin look a little bit oily after a few hours. I've also read some reviews that say that it can sort of show up the flakes a little bit. Then looking at oily skinned ladies online, I've seen some very positive reviews there. It is oil free. You know, it can have a bit of an oil breakthrough for those oily skinned ladies like what I saw today. So if I look at their consumer study, you know, did I find this foundation blurred my imperfections? No, it probably didn't blur, it covered. I'm not part of that 100%. 98% said the foundation made their skin look absolutely perfect. I'd be part of that 2%. It didn't make my skin look perfect. It looked like it had makeup on top, and it didn't give me, you know, complete coverage. So you could see, you know, pigmentation marks and things coming through, and it didn't smooth out my pores. It was pretty average when it came to pores. And 97% said that the foundation provided natural coverage. I don't think it was natural coverage. Again, you could see makeup on my skin, which just doesn't align with what the product says it does. I do like the finish. It's a nice sort of satiny finish, I guess I would say. It just didn't last a whole lot of a long time for me. Now, this is a first impressions video, and I will be using this foundation more throughout the week. I'll be using it with different primers. I'll also be using it with powders in my T-zone and seeing how I can get the very best out of this foundation. First impressions, is it a GOO ROO Holy Grail? No, it's not. For $58, won't recommend it. Please do let us know down below if you've tried this foundation, what you think of it. Do you love it? I would love to hear from you. Also, let me know your skin type and skin concerns and how this product helped or didn't help them. That's it. Have yourself a gorgeous day. Please don't forget, you are beautiful. You're full of beauty. It's one thing to look at though. Make sure you be it, and I will see you again really, really soon. Bye.